Hello.
What's up,
Hi,
gamers?
gamers. It's me again, here to tell you about a brand new product,
Called
motion design.
what?
Crazy stuff. Austin invented it a couple months ago.
Dude, you're not supposed to tell people that. What the
Sorry.
hell? We're trying to keep this a secret to ourselves.
Yeah, I know. The people gotta know. It's so
Ah,
exciting. I just have to spill the beans.
wow, you're really liberating the
It's
knowledge
kind of
here.
like, it's kind of like anime. Well, sorry, nobody's gonna understand what it is. I don't know how to describe it. So,
Shout out to our motion liftoff folks, I guess.
credit to them.
What up, Estemelia? What up, Mo? What up, Atharva? Hey, Mo, we might be critiquing one of your things today. I believe I saw your name on the critique list. Hey, speaking of,
Speaking
if you
of,
guys want to get your work critiqued, there's a link in the description. It's like one of the top links. Submit your stuff there. We're running out. We're running out of people's submissions to critique. We're just gonna have to start picking people at random on the internet and roasting the shit out of them if we don't
oh,
hurry this up. No, I'm kidding. We
that
won't do that.
actually sounds kind
We
of
won't.
fun.
We won't do that. But anyway, there's that. Also use hashtag Daily Motion Show in your posts on social, and we'll look at them for Rex and all this stuff. What up? How you doing, my dear studio? How you doing? It makes it sound like I'm addressing the Revie team when I say that. My dear studio. My dear studio. Anyway, I got a quick gripe this morning that I got to get out of the way, and then we can hop into this other stuff. All right.
I heard that there was a little bit of tea.
There's
so
a little bit of tea. All right. So
I'm gonna
first,
blind react to this.
I'm gonna go ahead and show everybody the motion tip that I posted yesterday, which has got some people upset.
Share your screen.
It's shared. It should be.
Oh, beautiful.
Here it is. It's me talking about how I've seen too many people flexing their years of experience. Anyway. Another motion design tip. Don't flex your years of experience. I know way too many people that are motion designers or animators or whoever with 10 plus years of experience that still have incredibly mediocre work. Good work is good work regardless of how long you've been doing it. Okay?
Yeah, okay. I like it.
I feel like that's a pretty fair take. Lots of people did a lot more, well, not a lot of people. Some people did some deeper reading into that and finding some just interesting ways to misconstrue what I was saying there. Anyway, also, I had a funny interaction yesterday. Greg from Ordinary Folk did call me out on my Instagram comments on this, being like, don't you still say that you have 10 years of experience on your Gumroad? And I was like, that's awkward. Let me go change that.
Delete it.
My bad. Anyway, so that was just a funny thing yesterday, and it's not about that. I got a retweet on this morning, like somebody quote tweeted it, and Noah, if you want to read it, since I can't pull it up, but I'll switch back to. Actually, no, now I can because I switched off of it.
Yes, I will read it. Someone says,
Fantastic.
in response to that on Twitter, when the community of our industry finally breaks down, no one respects senior artists who put in years to get where they are, and everyone becomes a nightmare to work with. I'll point to this tweet as the catalyst. So, big props to you for being the catalyst of breaking the entire industry with your motion design tip.
I guess. Jeez. What the hell?
It's not. I don't think it's about like not respecting seniority.
Well, that's what
but,
I
like,
said. That's what
part
my
of it
reply
is-
was.
It's about like good work is good work, and that should be what we put forward, not necessarily just saying, "Hey, I've been here longer, therefore I know more."
Therefore,
when
I
you
am
might
cool.
not. Therefore, I am better. When like first of all, it's like kind of a young field, and second of all, there's a good chance you don't,
Now,
or at least you could be humble about it.
there
You know
were
what I mean?
there were a fair number of people that were upset that they thought I was monopolizing, like, you can only be good in this industry if you are good at motion design. There were some
That's not
people that
true,
were
right.
upset about me not calling out soft skills also being important, but I figured that could go without saying, because obviously you need to be able to communicate with people and not be an asshole to get them to want to work with you. But there are some people, and in particular this person who responded to this, that are really banking on like the soft skills more than anything else. And what I was trying to get at more so is like, yes, you can have the soft skills. That's very important, but you should also have the like creative skill if you're going to be like, regardless, I just don't think you should be like using your I've been here longer as a reason to hire you. I just think that's kind of silly, because even if that does point to the soft skills, That's what a producer's for, not a motion designer. So I don't really understand the point there.
I think the blend of great creative skills and good soft skills, that's the creative director right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's their job, is to have both of those things and be able to talk to everyone and communicate the vision to the people that are putting in more of the animation hours.
But I see way too many creative directors that like only have the soft skills and don't have the like motion chops or design chops, and it just feels super disingenuous. I don't know. It makes me a little upset to see people like in those positions of power that like can't actually do the things they're prescribing to people. I think that's frustrating.
It puts also like a kind of uncomfortable pressure on the animators and designers to carry the project in a way.
Yeah. Because the person who's giving the orders can't execute on like what they're saying. It's like giving a shopping list but having no money to buy it. It's weird. I don't know. It's just kind of strange. Anyway, that was my gripe this morning. But we have some other fun stuff that we're going to get into today. First of all, I saw a fun article about 2 days ago. Sorry, guys. There's a little delay on the motion show here. But I'm going to pull that up. It would appear that Buck is making a game. It's going to... Noah,
it does seem to appear.
You'd certainly be happy about this. It's a puzzle roguelite mashup. Sounds right up your alley.
Puzzle games are all right. Roguelikes are the best, so I'm down.
There you go. I don't know. Let's just talk about like Buck as a whole for a second. There was an interesting title on the tweet. I can't remember what it was, but it was like the rebels are at it again or something. Everybody grab your axes. And
the rebels.
I don't know. Like to me, Buck is like the institution of motion design.
Empire.
Like they are the motion empire, right? And it's not even really motion anymore. They are very much like an animation studio. They are not like motion design anymore. They are. They have evolved into this, or rather zoomed out to this much more broad thing. So I think it makes sense because they're already doing all sorts of more like entertainment driven pieces and things to where, hey man, they're just doing the media company thing. That's cool. Happy for them. Love that. Jealous. Wish that was me right now. But eventually, and we'll do it in a fun way.
Yeah, I think you get to a point where the specific like motion design projects is just, they become a little obsolete.
Yeah.
You are sought after enough and you have the skills enough to,
you know, you can get the money and get those projects easily.
You can just sort of, you just make whatever that people really need, and a lot of times that's the higher profile entertainment stuff and all kinds of crazy stuff, you know, push forward in a bunch of different interesting ways.
Yeah.
Rather than just stay in your little motion design lane.
Therefore, Buck is definitely like, I mean, I feel like they were kind of in their shell the past couple of years. Like they were certainly making cool work, but they were still like in line with being a motion studio. But I think now, I don't know if it's because like the pandemic is over and mostly has kind of shaken things up, that now they're like, all right, let's just try a bunch of shit. That's what makes them very interesting to follow for me at the moment, because it seems like they're just, oh, that sounds interesting, let's do that. That sounds interesting, let's do that. It's like what we do at Revi, but they actually have a ridiculous amount of money to do it. So I'm intrigued to see what they, like, where they put that effort and how it works out for them.
This article isn't lying. They have so many world-class artists, designers, and people.
It's true.
It's crazy.
They are an empire.
I just want to see some screenshots, like, real bad.
Well, good luck, because it's not going to be shown until the Mix Direct Spring 2023 showcase on March 17th.
So
there you go.
It's not that far away.
No, it's not.
I can wait.
It's like a week away. So there you go. Boom. That's the thing in motion I'm excited about, because that game better have the best animation and design out of any game I've ever seen, because they do that. They have to. If they don't, I mean, we're going to critique it on the show. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to play that game on the show. Come on.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's going to be fun. Anyway.
I wonder if they're going to put it on Steam.
Who knows? Guess we'll find out. But anyway, on that note, let's talk about another fun question that we get pretty often. I know that we've talked about pricing before, and especially for folks outside of the hot markets in the US, that can be a hard thing to get over sometimes, is just the rates that you're seeing from people in New York and LA and those sorts of things versus people charging like $5 for a whole animation somewhere else. You know, that disparity is pretty vast. But one of the things we never really talked about, well, we kind of have, but not very explicitly, is just how to get work with people outside of your country, which seems like a relatively simple thing for us because it's the only way we've ever worked is not necessarily internationally. You get what I'm saying. Whatever. I need to stop giving caveats.
Non-locally.
Non-locally. There are lots of shops that just work with people around them in their city or state or whatever. Revi has never been that way, partially because for the beginning of Revi, Noah and I were not in the same state even. And we had all sorts of different connections from all over the place. So it was not financially viable for us to only work in one specific location. And what that meant was that we just started pushing ourselves on social. That's really it. I mean, if you are consistently trying to make connections and you're not tying your studio or your practice down to like, I am so-and-so from this place, or I am so-and-so working with companies from this place, then nobody knows. Nobody knows where you live. They have no idea. You could charge whatever you want. You could say you lived in LA if you want to. I don't really care as long as you're doing good work.
And like at the end of the day, you make great work and you get noticed by larger companies. They don't give a heckin' darn where you're from. They just
No,
care
they
if you're
don't.
able to do the work.
And aren't an asshole to work with.
That's
Boom.
true.
There you go.
That's the secret sauce.
So, which isn't even really a secret. It's a very like obvious thing, but I don't know. I think it's important to just be reminded of that sometimes. Just make connections with the people you want to work with, regardless of where you're from. I think too many people let their like physical location be a barrier to their opportunity. You know, because they're like, I'm from this place, so I'd never be able to get a job with so-and-so company. I'd never be able to work with so-and-so. But it's just not true at this point.
Yeah.
But there's such a shift happening in our industry right now and has been for the past couple of years to where everything is so interconnected that you should theoretically be able to contact anybody from anywhere, and there are plenty of tools to get you to do that. My Dear Studio says, do you have any European clients? We have worked with a couple European companies and actually a couple different European studios too, but not as much recently. Not as much recently, but yes, we have in the past, and it was delightful. It was fun. We've worked with freelancers from all over the world too. It's been great. Yeti says, "How are y'all doing?" I'm doing great. Doing great, Yeti. He says, "Do you think Revi can be expanded to work with LATAM clients?"
Do you know what LATAM clients are?
I'm gonna admit I don't know what LATAM. Oh, Latin America. That's my guess.
All right,
That's my guess
too.
But let's find out. Just to make sure. Yep, Latin America.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. If there's a fit, there's a fit. But I don't know.
With anyone.
Noah is definitely the one that's going to have to translate. That would be way more fun than me doing it. Noah will just be there presenting the board. He will say, ¿Cuál es el mejor de aquí? ¿Cuál es el mejor de aquí? Out of the, like our style frames that we've made. It's like, ¿Cuál es el mejor de aquí? And that's the only phrase, but it'll work. It's going to be fine. And then he'll give a hello and a thank you and a goodbye, and that's fine. Don't need anything else. But no, we definitely can. It really, at this point, is just like do budgets align sort of thing for us. That's it. Because we got the team to support and all that stuff. Noah and I are not quite as gung-ho as we used to be, which is really saying something because I feel like we are still pretty loose cannons as far as just like what is happening day to day at the company. It's Shoham says, hi, Austin and Noah. How are you guys feeling today? Great.
How are you feeling today?
Hey, you can't turn the question around. You got to answer first.
Why do I have to answer first?
Because he asked first. Well, I said fine. I'm doing great. So how are you feeling now?
That's fantastic. I'm feeling pretty calm today.
Calm.
I'm ready to. I have an animation to do today. What do you have to do today?
Meet right after this with the people we met with yesterday and kick off that project. Can we just be excited about that for a second?
Oh yeah, we can be excited.
I recorded
about
a vlog clip this morning. Y'all, year 2 of Revi, we made $100,000 total. All right, the whole year. Just this week, verbal agreements. We've sold $130,000 in deals on 2 projects. 1 week.
Rolling.
1 week. This is
rolling on these big old projects.
Like, I mean, we knew at the end of last year that this year was still like on pace to be our best year yet again. But it seems like if it's already going this well at the beginning of the year when projects are supposed to be way more difficult to find,
Which I will admit that they
they
were
certainly have
at
been.
the beginning.
But we're kicking it. We're just gonna be having a time at least the next couple months.
Momentum is starting to build and come into fruition. So I'm excited about that.
All of our
Also,
dastardly social media plans and outreach are working. Mwahaha.
dastardly as hell. Speaking of dastardly social media plans, I still have to record a reel for Friday.
Dude, you got to do it.
I think I'm gonna make a reel on dropping out of college.
That's fun.
I know, right?
There's so many little pieces from that story video that we can just take
know.
and make into little like 5-minute videos or something.
Sure.
Be easy
Yeah.
peasy. Damn, everybody in chat is hype as hell about that.
Oh, thank you guys. Let's go.
Millionaire
It's
Review
exciting.
2023. Dude, this
I
is the
really
year of
hope
a million,
so.
100%. We are going to make that happen.
When a business makes $1 million, it starts to it pops
It's a
up
snowball.
on a lot of people's radars. And you start getting like invites to certain things, and I'm very curious as to like all the whole world of $1 million businesses. So I'm very interested in that.
Daily Motion Show knows how to not be the life of the party and says, what about taxes?
God damn it.
Let's not talk about that right now.
I
But
don't
also, we have
want-
that handled, and it will be a lot of money. But whatever. You got to
that out.
pay our subscription to keep being a business to the government. Whatever. Anyway.
It's the most expensive subscription. Is the
It's just the
existing one.
taxes.
The making money subscription.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But
Wait.
yeah, this will be the year of a million.
Does
We're
this
going to
mean I
make
can-
that happen.
I think I can post links in chat now.
Oh, yeah. You should be able to as a channel manager, I hope.
That's
Try
really
it.
Cool. Okay.
Post a link to the forum or something. It's in the Discord. Shiny says, absolutely in love with your work. Is there any chance to get animating live streams again?
There's a chance, yeah.
Maybe.
You're
Maybe they'll
probably
happen.
also going to see even cooler, better bite-sized content.
Like
of-
more tutorial
like
type
actual
things. and-
YouTube-y type content.
Yeah.
We want to do little animation challenges between us and
Speaking
just all
of-
kinds of fun stuff.
That's also what we're doing today, no? We're recording a little something that we'll announce to the community about potentially another challenge coming up like next
Oh,
week.
I was gonna say that
What?
too.
No. Oh, and then what's
excited?
happening tomorrow? We're
I was
going to
just gonna say
SCAD.
that.
We're going to SCAD to
Hey,
critique
shout out
16
to-
portfolios at
Shout out to
CoMotion.
people who are going to be at CoMotion. I'll see you there.
We will be there starting
Tomorrow?
tomorrow morning. We will not be there for
And
the
the
early
next
bird thing, but
Yep.
we'll be there tomorrow.
We'll be there tomorrow.
And it'll be fine. I cannot believe that client call that we had yesterday, or that like discovery call we had. That person asked about like, can you save some of the interns for us though? And I'm like, dude, we're not even looking for any right now.
I'll send them all to you, man. You can have
You
them.
can have them. We don't have any openings at the moment. But as far as the animating lives go, maybe they would have to be much shorter. They would have to be like this show length, and they wouldn't be able to happen nearly as often, just because it's kind of a burden on the team a little bit. But we will be making lots of content. I mean, part of what we were doing on the retreat was just coming up with a whole content schedule. And all sorts of different content ideas and options that we can make, which I think will be really fun for everybody. So we're gonna be doing that. Also, we're trying to bring guests onto the show. Open call for guests. We'll have a forum or something eventually, probably, because we want to bring people just from the community on as well. But we'll also be looking to contact some of our connections that we have in the industry to bring on and chat with them.
Some ideas.
But I'll be looking forward to
If-
that too.
If there are any specific topics you would like to hear from other industry professionals on, put them in the chat.
Yep.
Cheers
Yep,
to you. All right.
That's
well,
right.
shall we?
Shall we?
Get into the madness?
Some freaking crits, brother.
I would love a little freaking crit right now.
All right. Get
By
ready
way,
for
I
the
did-
crit.
I did post a link. It worked. Congratulations to me being able to post links. Submit
what?
your work to get roasted/critted. Link is in the chat. and
It
in the
did
description.
not show up for me.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, you put it in.
Can you link it to me?
I sure can.
Sarah from Internship Interviews, Sarah. How are you
Oh my
doing? We
goodness.
haven't
What
chatted
is
in a
up,
while.
Sarah?
What's poppin'? She says, how long did it take you guys to get from 0 to where you are now? I've been doing design since I was in like 8th grade, static like branding stuff. So that's almost 10 years now. And then motion I've been doing for almost 5 years. I know we just talked about the years thing, but in that context, that is the only way I can say how long that took. And no, it was pretty similar for you. It was probably like 8
But
years design
as a
and then
studio, there's just so much to learn, man.
yeah.
It's crazy.
But yeah,
But as a studio, what it's been like 2.5.
2.5 years for
2.5.
Ruby. Yeah, we're in the 3rd year right now, so actually call it like 2.25, really. And this is the year of 1,000,000. We're gonna do it, and we're all gonna celebrate. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, here is our first crit of the day. Mo, I told you that you're on the list today, so everybody
show
get prepared.
reels, too.
Here we go. Everybody loves putting the show reels in, which I kind of like because we love reels. So, and we are probably more experts on reels than a lot of other people, just from how many we watched on Vimeo.
We do love a good reel.
Anyway, here we go, shall we?
All right,
just
I
love
got
everything.
I got a couple ones
Go for
right
it.
off the bat.
Rapid fire,
Alright.
boom roasted.
I really like the song. It doesn't feel like it really fits with the vibe.
Agreed.
I see that you're trying to match up some of these cuts to the music. It could be done a little better. Don't forget that you can time displace your work.
Yep.
Not time displace, but time remap.
Yeah.
Your work to make it fit better, and you can get these cuts to kind of match each other's momentum to the music, and that adds a lot of like a good feeling, as like a good flow through the reel as it goes. Additionally, the song kind of breaks out of its chorus, I guess, and gets a little like lighter as a song. Like some of the instrumentation, the bass kind of goes away towards the end, but that doesn't match up with the end card. And it might be helpful to sort of kind of bring it in and cut it shorter so that when the bass goes away, you could squish all your work, make faster cuts, get it all in there, the area with the bass, and then when it gets quieter, that's when you cut to the end, and that feels like a nice moment to do that. Does that make sense?
Yes. Main thing for me, some of your cuts
Make it
are just, yep, just you could make your cuts quicker. And it's not because I just want the reel to be faster, although I think it could be good at like 30 seconds. More so that it's one of those, on some of these, I kind of get like, I don't need to see that ball bounce 4 times with everything else kind of sitting still. I kind of get the point after it does it once or twice. Same with this guy. It just kind of sits down there. I get that you need that transition to happen there, but that's where a time remapping moment would help quite a lot, because you don't have to have it just sit there for that extra like second or whatever. That's mainly it for me though. Noah covered everything else.
A comment on the actual work, but a lot of them feels like stuff happens and then like most of it stays still, kind of central in the frame, and then while like some little thing is moving, and maybe if you added some, like you can zoom in a little bit and move it around if you wanted. Maybe it's partially more comments on the actual work itself, but in your compositions, it feels like it's a very one at a time thing that's moving. It doesn't necessarily have to be like that. The compositions don't feel as like dynamic and fully animated. That car just kind of appears and stops fully. That box stops. Everything just feels like it stops and pauses while something else is kind of happening. Doesn't feel as like combined,
Yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah, there you go. Boom roasted.
Boom
That
roasted.
The crit for your reel. Good stuff. I like the end card in the beginning.
I do
I
too.
think that's fun. Nice logo.
It's nicely timed, so it does
Do.
grab you pretty nicely. Boom roasted. Done.
You can push
All right,
it further too.
Jacob Batterham, Cronus 2.0. I believe this is an explainer.
Okay.
Love that trick.
NDA moment.
NDA moment. I just want to say I love how some of these compositions are made, because UI videos are how they are, but like being able to take some of these shots is pretty interesting, and like actually getting to follow this along makes it feel like something bigger than just the UI on a screen, which I can appreciate.
You can
and then like
push-
following this up is a nice transition.
I thought that was pretty fun. I do like when the laptop flips around and the UI panels like come out of the screen, because it's like, oh, I'm not really expecting that. It looks like it's on the screen,
And then they
and
kind
then
of like
it's like,
pop out.
oh shit,
Yeah.
they're alive. But the screen is fully off as they leave, so I'm not sure that you probably do something with that. You know what I mean?
Some of the shading is throwing me off a little bit here.
I was gonna mention that too.
Like this laptop screen is really shiny as it's going around, but like anytime that you have stuff on the screen, it's not shiny, which I get because you want to be able to
don't
see
wanna
everything
block
that's
out
there. But at the same time, I don't know. I just kind of feel like the shininess then feels like it just feels kind of inconsistent, I guess.
I have also something to say
kinda
about the
take it or leave
shading.
it.
Those first few scenes, you have
Popcorn rocks in there.
Yes, popcorn rocks. It is unclear where the focus should be. You have things that are floating. Their easing going down to the table is a little strange. It feels a little like messy. Like that's a fine cut, but right here, like stop, and you zoom out just a tiny bit. You have your light sources in the corners. Your laptop is relatively unlit here. My eye is being drawn, even though the
To the
screens have
left.
just turned on. I'm just looking at that little tree.
Yep.
It's green. It's the colorful thing. It's close to the light. That or the far right where there's also a light. It doesn't draw my eye to the thing that you want us to look at, and I think a lot of that has to do with the shading and the sort of contrast that you have here with your lights and your trees. So maybe you could like dim those out and do a spotlight right in the middle, like make it more dramatic or something like that. But it doesn't do a good job of drawing my eye to what's actually important here
Agreed.
until like right here. And then you're like, okay.
And now I don't understand the terms of the deal necessarily or what the actual brief was on this, but I also don't quite understand like what would make this product more appealing than any other trading platform. I'm not really being given any other reason as to why this over that, Maybe there's VO that's missing because of NDA or something, but I don't know. It just doesn't really tell me a whole lot. Daily Motion Show says he missed depth of field. That would be pretty nice to have some
He does have
focus
it
pulling
with
and
some of the
stuff here.
UI things, which works great. Like the close-up UI shots, the depth of field really, like, it does a good job of helping carry those scenes. But yeah, some depth
Yeah,
of
like
field.
there. But it would have
Like,
been
yeah,
really
that's
good to
looking
like bring
nice.
that in at some of these other points,
I agree, absolutely.
Also, yeah, you don't have to. Just to what you were talking about earlier, I don't think this needs to be so evenly lit. This is like if
That's
you're in a
okay,
house,
evenly
I
lit.
would much rather have lamps on than the big light. So that it feels a little bit more atmospheric or whatever. In order to help pull that focus on which part of the scene people are supposed to be looking at, you could use very dramatic, like stark lighting. Like there's a spotlight up above the desk or something that turns on and everything else becomes darker so that you know where to look or something, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I think that's the gist. Boom roasted.
Boom roasted. Good stuff. I like some of those cuts, by the way.
Yep.
Um,
All right.
Getting those skills going with the 3D rotations.
Time for our own.
Yeah, we're gonna roast Will.
Now, Will said to tear this apart, so
we will.
We will do
Say
that.
less.
We will do
Say
that.
less.
Now, I'm going to try to avoid all of the critique that I gave 2 days ago on that project that Orion made that is very similar in style. So just already lump all of that on top, and I'll just try and look at other
a quick
things here.
recap of what that was for people who weren't there.
Okay. Or did you want to say it, or you were waiting for me to say?
That's for you.
Okay.
You do it.
I'm not a huge fan of After Effects 3D, especially when it is this flat shading. I don't think that it translates super well to products feeling elegant and luxurious. It feels a little too, for lack of a better term, cartoony. And oftentimes can leave the brand not feeling very unique because it doesn't really have a whole lot of standout style. Like it's just flat colors, and it looks like what a first like Viz pass would be for like an animatic if someone was making something in Blender or Cinema 4D. It just feels unfinished. The motion is usually good in these, but the actual style and design can feel a little bit templatized, and like you could just swap out the brand and put anything else in there and it would still work fine. That's the gist. Anything else I missed in that?
That was pretty much it.
Boom. All right. So preemptive boom roasted, but we'll look at the other stuff on this.
Let's get into it.
All right. First of all, I know that he's really proud of this too, but just how the Behance project blends into the actual thumbnail. It's just wonderful. Anyway. Also, only 17 seconds. Of course, because Will knows that how ads work, you know.
Sure is good. Dude, I didn't remember how fucking fun that was to watch.
I know.
The motion on that is so fun. I will say this scene right here, I love it.
Love the sound design on that too. That's easily the highlight of the video for me.
This scene kind of empty and weird.
Also,
there's no shadow on the anything.
Really, really dark. Does not feel like it's just underexposed.
It just feels kind of dark.
Especially when this is a screen. Why wouldn't this screen be producing light that's like making it brighter than the background and stuff?
I feel like this is supposed to be kind of the most exciting part of the video.
It's
like
a casino.
Towards the end, it's like, hey, this is the thing. Get excited, and then it transitions into the logo, and this last scene totally falls flat.
That's why casinos are like, they purposefully make everything so bright, and you have all your ding ding dings and all that stuff because they want people so like overstimulated that they just like cannot get enough of the visuals and things around them, and they're so drawn in. But this is like a casino would never make something this dark, you know?
It could like light up a bunch of tiles on the desk. It could be, there's so much you could do with it. You could have like a little city.
Yeah.
But you want the eye still to be drawn to the main thing, which is on the phone. So
now, I know this is a big thing in like the ident community for editors on Twitter, but in this context, I don't understand why we have this transparency here, unless this is like an ad that gets played like during a stream or something. And so it's just like, here's our ad break. And so it just goes over top of the video, and then I don't know. But in that case, I feel like you're kind of making a gamble that this will play well over top of whatever they put it on, you know? Like,
that's a gamble. Right
there's no real guarantee that this contrast will work out. Anyway. Love these things in the background, but they also feel really similar to those Apple ads from a couple years ago. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
So it almost like at first glance, I'm like, is this an Apple thing for like the Apple Pencil? I don't know.
I like those. I feel like the UI on the edges around here doesn't quite fit the vibe exactly.
Which part are you talking about?
Feels like a lot. Like
Like
when it's
these?
zooming out of the, yeah, when it's zooming out of the here, it feels like there's a lot of strange detail. That could just be a client thing.
I mean, I will say, animation wise, my eye is still very much just drawn here. I'm not even looking at anything around here at all.
Me too. I also shout out to Will. Shout out to Will for putting his own name on the
Yeah, seriously.
leaderboard right there. Fantastic.
Wizzy121 is really, I mean, everybody's putting their
Scary,
bits
huh?
in, you know?
hmm
Let's just watch it one more time.
I love this little world full of shapes.
Something about this impact doesn't quite work for me. Doesn't it feel like there's a weird, like,
Yeah.
with the camera?
Yeah, it does.
But then
So
you
it
get
has
the
to
fun sound
transition
effects and
to that.
stuff, and so it saves it.
You
but-
immediately forget about it, yeah.
Also, this feels too like the extrusion here
Off.
feels too awkwardly similar to the color on top for it to. It just doesn't feel super intentionally lit, you know?
I'll say I'm okay with that one, but the one with multiplier feels strange because it's such small text and it's like that could just be flat, honestly.
I just wish there was a little bit more contrast because you've already got such high contrast down here. That's all.
True.
But in those scenes, especially, great job of making it feel like it's got a whole world that it's living in because it's got all those elements on the side with the depth of field and parallax and all that stuff. But then it really, like, this scene does feel really empty by
That scene is
comparison.
my biggest
Like,
note. Like you
I
have
mean,
this
hey.
whole world inside of this,
You just pulled
this
that.
computer.
Why can't you have a bunch of those tiles come land down here? Like the world. There's so much happening at this casino that it actually broke outside of the phone and is now like in the real world, like all of these prizes and things and whatever, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of what you're doing. You have this whole world inside of this computer and all this stuff, and then you have just this tiny little thing right here.
This transition though,
Very smooth.
I could not tell you where the cut was, honestly. Somehow lollipops just became the letters, you know? There's a reason we brought this man onto the review team.
I was
Clearly.
gonna say that.
But anyway, boom roasted.
Boom
Roasted, Will. He's probably not even watching this one. He hasn't
Oh
even
my
been in the
God.
chat. I know. What up, Nick M? How you doing? Favor, glad to see you. Says, I can't wait for the animation breakdown of the gas stove animation. Dude, me too. I'm waiting for Jackson to edit that.
Yes.
It'll be a short little snappy thing.
Excited.
Mo says, great tips, very helpful. So glad to hear that. And then Itchroham says, the candy to text transition is pretty cool. Agreed. Boom.
Agreed.
Boom roasted, everyone. Boom roasted. And you know what that means?
Is it?
It's-
to be.
Could it be rec
I'm
time?
sorry. Could it be rec time? Could it, be time for recs?
It could be rec time, or we could hold off for 5 minutes and just have a rapid fire Q&A in the chat. I don't know. It just kind of depends on what happens. But right now, I don't know.
both.
We're
Toss-
here. We're
toss
here on
some
the
stuff.
screen. They're there in the
Yeah.
chat. And
Incredible.
I
The
don't
tension
know.
is palpable.
Dude, I'm getting torn to shreds on Twitter right now, by the way. There's
Are you
people-
really?
That man is upset. Anyway, let's look at some recs though. I only have one rec for today. Also, what up, Alvin? How you doing? How you doing, man? Glad to
Oh,
see
that's
it.
a great rec.
Here's my rec, guys. It's another one from Doug. It's a banger, and we're gonna watch it right now. And in the meantime, put questions in the chat. We'll rapid fire answer things because we still got like another 15 minutes. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
go ahead. Oh.
It's the party sound. I love it.
Doug's videos just make me so happy. And he can quote that. But like sometimes I'll just go through his portfolio and just watch all of his videos because they just have such a fun personality to them, you know? It's just such a fun time.
Do you want to keep the space train going? I have a wreck that could keep it going.
You have the space train? What? Alright, space train it. Go crazy.
Hold on.
What? You're not ready for the space train yet? You can't just say that and then not be ready for the train to leave the station. Come on.
Oh, what is it called? The Lonely
Orbit. Lonely orbit.
Orbit. Wait, there's no way it's 9 minutes. That can't be right.
It's a long one, yeah.
We have time. You want to watch The Lonely Orbit?
Let's do it.
All right, y'all. Let me share it with you on Discord.
Thank you.
Guys, this is a great one. This is a fantastic one. We'll answer your questions after. Put them in chat during it.
There you go.
But check this. As you can see, people liked it a lot.
People sure did enjoy this.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, next round.
When do I get to... Oh. Can I? Yeah. You guys. It's kind of cheesy, but yeah.
I love the UI animations. I think they're so cute, man.
Small type is best type.
Small type is best type. Nice little establishing shot. I love the sound design. It kind of feels Studio Ghibli-esque, where it kind of feels desolate. It's just enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lots of silences. It makes everything feel so much more impactful.
My name is Lauren. Can I have your...
So much UI to animate there.
I know. It's so fun. Look at him doing a good job.
He's doing so great. Dude. So rude.
I like that there's wear and tear on his little cup. He loves it so much.
Dude just grips that cup like crazy.
BL 1750.
I love that little shot, dude.
Yeah.
That's great.
Dude, his phone was floating.
His phone was floating. It's metaphorical.
Think of us when you're a kid.
Not going to space.
Oh, he moved away. I see. I never really caught that.
He went to go work for the Space Boys.
He went to work with the Space Boys. Blink. I love that scene.
Was that your Google Calendar?
Yeah, you like it?
What a shot.
Yeah, right?
How much time is left on it, by the way?
4 minutes.
Well, and a lot of that is credits, too. Okay.
Right.
Dude, go fix your satellite, man.
I love this shit right here. That it makes it into a beat a little bit. Gives a little musical. Dude, not charging his phone. Stressing me out like that.
Uh-oh.
Like a bad system.
Yeah.
This film really takes its time.
It really does.
That's nice. Ah, Paris. What a cool transition.
A little too late, dude.
Oh no.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no. Love the sound here. Oh my god. And just silence. It's great.
Until... Dude, your cactus is gonna die out there.
Oh no. Dude, your cup.
Will,
Get your cup.
Will said, I just arrived. I've seen the critique. Thank you both.
Thanks for submitting, Will.
Now he's the satellite. He wants to go to Paris.
Everyone wants to go to Paris. So French.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes, work in my acting career.
That's a good
I don't know.
career.
I'm gonna have a look.
Why did you? I mean, what was it? When? How did you tell your boss?
I'm the one getting the bigger. So
You tried the doors?
I didn't tell my wife.
Oh.
Guys, look who's back.
Oh, hey, hi Dan.
Oh. Hey, Dan. Hey.
The comments are also on the news television. The news television when he walks in. Which I love the attention to detail.
You know that they just storyboarded that for a scene, and then we're like, well, we gotta put it in somewhere.
We have to. This film is like a masterclass in composition.
Yeah. A banger.
An absolute
Boom
banger.
loved it. Boom loved it.
Absolutely loved it.
Okay,
incredible.
now I hate to cut the mood short, but we gotta answer questions really quick because then we have our meeting in like 5 minutes.
Alrighty.
All right. Nick M says, Austin.
Yo.
Oh, wait, no, there's more up top. What do you think has been the trickiest part in starting and maintaining a studio like Revi? Money.
Money.
That's my vote. I don't know. That's everything else has been relatively easy to solve. It's money, and I guess the thing that gives the money, which is getting projects to come through. Just cash flow. That's been the hardest thing by far.
Cash flow, and I think a little bit of imposter syndrome here and there.
Not for me. I've been the poster this entire time.
That's not true, but sure.
No, I'm kidding. Of course.
What else?
A little razzle dazzle that as well. When starting a project, do you start with the concept, or do you go straight to design and imagine a concept that would fit later on?
I mean, they're kind of intertwined.
Yeah, but I would say most times we start more often with concept than design. We usually get through, like what we're doing in the class right now. We'll find references, but we're not actually designing anything or making like our own style for it or whatever up until we've already got a motion script most of the time.
Most of the time. Very rarely. We have sometimes started with
a design.
A bit of a design.
But
and then kind of jump back and forth between concept and design and let design lead, like give us ideas of concept. But concept is the thing that drives it.
Yeah. And that was like more olden days for V. When it was just me and Noah, we would be more into like, well, we just saw videos that were like this. What if we mix these two things? Okay, how can we make this work for this video? But we don't really do that anymore. Nick also says, Austin, how did you come up with the words for your weekly loops? Did they come to you naturally through your daily life, or do you use like a word randomizer, etc.? Most of them were just from my life experience that I was having each week in the beginning. And then once I got around, I don't know, I did like 22 of them or something. So once I got past like number 10 or something, I think I was just coming up with words that I thought would be fun to animate too.
Yeah. And thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the questions, Nick.
John Valgraff says, question, how do you feel about yourself in life at this point? I feel like more often recently than any other point in my life, I have continually had moments of reflection where just looking back and being like, me from a year ago even, or like especially usually I go to me from high school, like when I was, we talked about it a lot yesterday with design and stuff, or like our old design stuff. When I was running those like studios in high school, that version of me didn't have the capacity to imagine how things are for me now. And I'm not talking about from like a money sense or whatever, but like we have a team, like an actual team that wants to work with us, and we work with clients that actually care about us and enjoy working. Like I am more grateful now than I have been in my entire life. 100%. Yeah. It has never been better than this.
And it's just going to keep getting better.
Yep.
And that's incredible. I'm excited, man. And?
That's the show. Also, Nick M says, sorry for all the questions. No. See, we told you guys to give us questions. So thank you guys for the questions.
I appreciate it. And thank you for hanging around. And thank you for also submitting your work to get Boom Roasted.
In the description.
In the description.
And also joining the Revi Discord. We're past 2,500 people in there now from all walks of life in the motion industry. It's great.
This was a fantastic show. Again, tomorrow we are going to co-motion. We're going to be in Savannah, so there's going to be
There will be no show. I am sorry. I wish that wasn't the case.
Be back on Monday, and we'll see you then.
So, goodbye. We're off to a client call. See ya.